Hello and welcome to the round 16 fan cams. After the Blues get a good win, a solid win up against the Hawks, 17 goals 10, 112 to 7 goals 10, 52 on a cold, wet, miserable day at the MCG, but it was not a miserable result. And so we're all smiling today. Thanks for being here, guys. You know how the fan cams work. I've put the link in the chat. So if anybody wants to join, the link is in the chat right now. Hit the link. I've got 6 spots available right now in the waiting room. So first in, best dressed. I think we'll just get this show on the road and see where we go. Pommy.
My bro, how are we doing?
Stress-free football, mate. That's how we're doing.
Yeah, it's a shame you can't have 24 of them a year, innit? That'd be nice. Hey, but yeah, I mean, no, fair play to the boys. No ruckman, no problems. Hey.
Are we still dropping JSOS next week?
Mate, tell you what, credit to them. They've gone back to their one wood. Their one wood is that centre. When you get battered in the hit-outs like they did in the first half, but their work around the ball, Voss playing an extra behind stoppages really helped. The intercept marks, Jordan Boyd, the basics, isn't it? It was, I mean, let's take into account Hawthorn are an inexperienced, wet side at the moment. I mean, that's fair enough. They're where they are for a reason. The boys needed to just execute basics back like we used to. Tackle was good. Sam Walsh was just hunting everyone down. Harry Mackay, do you know what I mean? Suddenly becoming a pressure forward. What's going on, Terry?
Well, they continued on their form from the Gold Coast game. It was funny because when it was raining at the start of the game, I thought, okay, well, all the conversation around kicking skills is out the window because it's a wet weather game. And they looked fairly clean, I must say, considering it was wet, which goes to show how prepared they were. They looked like a team that really needed the bye and rejoiced in having the week off and having the bye.
Mate, when you score 73 points from scoring chains with handballs in that kind of weather is bizarre, because just a testament to the boys. I mean, end of the day, they just execute the basics well, and they put a side away. Could have been more, maybe, but I mean, at the end of the day, Cunners, Martin and Cunners, get it in me.
He seems to be one of the missing links in the chain, doesn't he?
Not one of, is. Mate, you don't get put behind the pom if you're average.
True.
I mean, that was a sentiment of class, mate. Sentiment of class. But no, mate, honestly, legit. I mean, Fogarty, understated. Harry, understated. That tackle pressure brings so much. And you know what really impressed me today? This is the first time I've seen them, even against Gold Coast, they didn't do it. From the opening bounce, they looked to take the contact. They looked to take that initiated contact and then handball on. And that was the running game that came back. And the boys stretched them. And, you know, they'll probably look at that game and think we've left some out there. We had a bit more. We probably had more in us. But shelving Charlie Curnow so early, I mean, it was... you almost believe we're a good team.
Almost. You almost get sucked into thinking they might be turning the corner, but it's very early for that. Very early.
I took an extended break at halftime. Most people think it's because I was making a coffee because I had no Mrs. Pom as the waitress today. I was actually just doing the ladder predictor, like Terry.
One down, mate. 6 to go.
Mate, 1 down, 6 to go. No, I mean, give them credit. We've been harsh on them this year. You've got to execute what's in front of you, and the basics were executed. Jack Silvani, do you know what I mean, had a tough job, so did Lewis Young. They did get peppered in the hit-outs, which you expect, but the fact that they were there, and it forced the midfield to go up. And you know what? I said it just before halftime. I think it's a blessing in disguise for this midfield, because they had to work overtime knowing they were going to lose the hit-out game.
Yeah.
And they couldn't dine out on Mark Pittonet giving them the ball. They had to wrestle it back, and they did that incredibly well. And Jesus worked his arse off, and that's what you get. And it's going to be, it ramps up now. Fremantle, Port, these are proper football sides. Gets progressively hard, but they've got the basics executed. We were on course for ridiculous numbers in the tackles, and that's the things we've been complaining about every fan cam. Where's the tackle pressure? Where's the second efforts, the third? And it all comes together, and it's a real simple game. And for 2 weeks now, Voss has said, fuck you. That's our game style. It might not be pretty, it might not be flamboyant, but by heck, it's effective, isn't it?
Yeah. Kept it simple, got the ball moving forward. But yeah, I think just the energy of them today clearly played with a freedom mentally. Didn't see them too many times thinking too much and wasting time. I don't know how much of that's to do with the opposition and how much to do with just them being a little bit more freer in the mind. But look, it was a good day at the football, a stress-free day again. So and we've needed it. I think everyone's needed it.
Don't know, Terry. Come on, don't lie. We enjoy this. This is what we live for, mate. Hey, we're more confused than a dub, mate. You and me now.
It is confusing. I'm not going to lie. It's like, can I rely on this, or is it just a Band-Aid? But it doesn't matter. Today was a good day. That's all that really matters.
Mate, we needed it. Everyone needed it. And I want to hear no comments about, oh, it's only Hawthorn and all that shit. Like, just give your ego and your libido a rest. Just enjoy it. Live in the moment. I remember we all got up and about against the Eagles. Do you know what I mean? And then for the next 6 weeks, you know what I mean? I was thinking about changing my lifestyle and identifying as a dog. You know what I mean? That's how fucking low I got. Do you know what I mean? Like, so let's just live in the now. Next week will be next week. But you know what? That was good to see, just the basics, man. Like, that's what shits me. It was simple stuff. The only time we made 2 egregious errors was when McGovern took 6 hours to take a kick. He turned it over, and then Wheaterin did that. And that's the basics of what these boys do. Play hard, play fast, play quick, do what you do. And that's it. It's really simple. Don't be Collingwood. Don't try and be Port. Be Carlton. And you know what? Yeah, it's not sexy. But fuck me, it works. Doesn't it? It works. Gets me happy. You know what I mean? I might even try my luck with my wife tonight.
Well, how was the watch along? What was that like?
We were sat there miserable. Do you know what I mean? Saying we fucking hate it. Mate, we were up and about. We had new songs. This chat needs to be fucking honoured that I've got some dignity and I didn't get it out at half time. I haven't been so happy on my half-time break, mate. I was living my life. If anyone's miserable now, honestly, tell you what, Jesus Christ, I just love wins, mate. I love fucking wins. And you know what? Got Fremantle, then we got Port, and you know what? Just for a day, dare to dream, and tomorrow we'll come back to reality. Just dare to dream today.
Fair. Well, mate, I'm sure it was a great watch along. It was a good day, and I look forward to what the next week holds for us.
Mate, as always, Terry, it's going to be a ride, and we'll enjoy it together. By the way, just so you know, Charlie Kerner, not just the best player in the league, might be the best fucking goal assister in the league as well. Charlie Kerner and Cunningham together. Tell you what, I don't need Viagra anymore. I'm just watching that third quarter. Charlie and Cunners. Oof. I want more kids so I can name them Charlie and Cunners.
I love it. All right, Pommy, you have a good one, mate.
Peace out, go Blues. Come on, Blues!
Come on, Blues, indeed. Speaking of, got the Monday Blues in the car.
G'day,
mate.
Terry. We got what's going on, brother?
Bro, I'm good. It's good. It's good to not stress.
How good is a nice stress-free afternoon at the footy, eh? We don't get too many of them.
Yeah, we've been put through the depths of negativity with this team this year, no doubt. So it was good to get something on the other end.
To walk out of the G yelling, "Blues are back!" That was it just look nice to get a win. I think the way we done it was beautiful. Like I love Cunningham and Martin in the forward line. It gives a whole new dynamic at that forward line. It was just to watch, beautiful to see. And I think like the teamwork was on full display today. Like that's what actually made me enjoy watching today. Everyone was working hard for each other. I got a bit worried when TDK went down. Obviously, with late withdrawal, and I thought, we might get ragdolled in the ruck. But everyone done their bit for each other.
Yeah. What did you go into the game thinking? Were you nervous or were you confident?
Like as you know, when the week goes by, as a Carlton fan, as it gets closer to the game, you get more and more G'd up, right? And you think you want to put the lid on because you just want to, cap that excitement because you know what the inevitable might be. But no, I went in, when we done our predictions, Andy wasn't as optimistic. I was feeling pretty good. Obviously, when the TDK news came out, I thought, the replacement was young. Are we going to be a little bit too slow around the park with there and young? Are we going to get ragdolled? Because I thought if we went out of the middle, it's going to be all right. And then I thought, no, I'll back our boys in. The forward line, Sicily's out. We should, well, if we played as we did, like we did against the Suns as well, we can get on a run and kick a few. And that first half was beautiful watching. So I was feeling pretty good going into it.
Yeah. What does it mean? That's the question. What does it mean?
It's I know Pommy just said, get up and about and don't be negative. But like realistically, right? We've beaten Gold Coast and Hawthorn, and we're starting to do ladder predictions. We just one week at a time. So I look at our wins this year. GWS, Kangas, West Coast, Hawthorn, Gold Coast, right? So over the course of the year, the teams that we expect it to be, we should be beating. But hopefully now, we flick the switch. We get on a bit of a run. We need a scalp. We need to actually get a big result. Obviously, we need things to fall our way as well
next week.
So yeah, if you want to book tickets to Perth, so I'm going. But look, we're doing what we should. We're playing like we should have been playing early in the season. I guess yes, absolutely enjoy it. It's a great result, but hindsight makes you think like, where was this in the first half of the season? So
yeah.
What are your thoughts, Terry?
The run, the carry, the quick handball chains, the knowing that your teammate's about to be there or knowing where he's going to be. It just looked like they were in sync mentally. And I just said it earlier when Pommy was on. I'm not sure if it was due to I wouldn't say it was a lack of pressure. I mean, Hawthorn laid like 80 tackles. They were there. They were up and about. Just looked like a team that looked fresh off a bye mentally.
We bucked the trend, absolutely. Cripps looked like he was on a man on a mission. Like he was blasting through packs. Just his run, his second and third efforts were fantastic. So loved watching it. Mr. Andy,
how you going, mate?
Mate, I'm good. How are you?
Good. I've got 3 words for you, bro.
What do you got?
Shaved head Chera. Shaved head Chera is a menace, an absolute menace.
He has become. I mean, I look when he first got here, I thought, yeah, he's class. Now he's tough.
He's a brute.
I didn't expect that from him, but I'm happy to see it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, no, I was really impressed by Chera again, but Harry this season. I mean, if you remove his goal kicking, and we all know the issues he's had, but he's had a good year around the ground. He really has, and I feel like he's impacted the team really well around the ground. It's just that polish at the end. And I mean, he had his little moment today again, but kicked the goal, next chance he got, he kicked the goal. And that's what I want to see from Harry. So, and yeah, his setup work, he was just, things are looking good, man. I'm not getting carried away. Standard. You can't get carried away with this team, but I like what I'm seeing. We're doing exactly what we're supposed to. You can only beat who's in front of you, and we're doing it, and we're doing it well.
Yeah, I went into today thinking it's going to be uncomfortable. Hawthorn will just make it tough for us. And then when it rained, I thought, yeah, even more so. We'll be lucky to win 3 or 4 goals. So a 10-goal win at this point in the year.
Try.
Again,
all
you
day.
think, where has it been? But you take it. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, man. Yeah, for sure, man. For sure.
Yeah.
That's it, man.
Well, boys, you guys have a safe trip home and good luck. See you tomorrow
Will
at
do.
5 p.m.
Love your work, Terry.
Champion, love you, bro. Take care.
See you, boys. Take it easy. Ali,
Hey, how you going, mate?
good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, really, really good. Watched along with the fan cams. I was watching KO, but listening to not fan cam, sorry, to Pommy. Yeah, I'm Scottish, so he's a Pommy bastard. You know what I mean?
I know what
But,
you mean.
yeah, yeah. But I love him. I love him. I love his singing so bad. I love the chat. I love everybody that gets in there. But it's not so much the win; it was the way they did it. It wouldn't have mattered who we were up against. They were at the contest 100%, and we haven't seen that in the early part of the season. You know, when we played West Coast, well, you know, what's West Coast? Fuck that. You know, but when we played these teams, we got stuck in. You know, that's what I loved. No, it was
Yeah.
awesome.
No, it was a good day. Who did you have up there as your pivotal players for the day?
Weeders, Dan Back, Sammy Walsh, even, you know, like obviously Cripper, you know, like that run through the centre when he dodged players and set it down through into the 50. Oh, Jesus, I tell you, Cunners, just it was across the team. It really was. There was a couple of players that struggled a bit. It didn't matter because the rest picked up the rope and went with it. You know, that's the beauty of it.
Are we a chance next week in Perth?
Oh shit, yeah, yeah, fuck yeah, we're up and about.
We are.
Yeah, no, that's good, mate. Awesome.
That's good.
What
Well,
did
thanks
you
for calling in, mate.
You know, great. Thanks, mate, for having us.
All right, no worries. See you later.
See ya.
Speaking of Blues abroad, Luke Cornell.
Come on! Far out. Oh my God. Look, I've just dropped into Copenhagen for the weekend, but you know what? It's 9 o'clock here. Let's let him hear about it. Come on, you baggers!
Amazing.
Far out, man. I don't know if I'm lucid dreaming because I've woken up at 5 o'clock to watch that match, but what was that, man?
Yeah.
Far
They came
out.
out. They got the job done. Started a little bit of an arm wrestle early, and then it just opened up. No, it was very similar to the Gold Coast game.
Very, very similar, but I feel like for the first time this year, that's one of the first games when we've been up and we played with a bit of polish and a bit of class. Because especially when Hawthorn was able to get that extra 45-degree kick inside through the corridor, like we could have easily congested that ball through the middle. But there was so much space out on the width, which was a bit surreal, like considering how fucking menacing that's been, like out on the wings. We've just kicked it so far out onto the boundary, and holy shit, turnover. But yeah, just Harry's work up the ground, getting that deep kick into the top of the goal square. I was just like, man, money.
The targets they were hitting by foot, they were like lowering the eyes, and they just seemed to be able to find their men today. And I hope it continues. I hope that they've found something. It's probably a bit early to call it for what it is, other than just call it for what it was, and that was a good win today. And the hope is that they have found something.
Kool-Aid today, coffee tomorrow, mate. It's okay.
Kool-Aid today, coffee tomorrow. I like that. I like that.
But yeah, just good vibes. Just being up, but at the same time, it's just like off that bye as well, that monkey off our back at the same time. But to keep a team goalless for a half, we haven't done that since like 2004 or something like that. And to beat Hawthorn by 10 goals, last time we did that, 1995.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Interesting. Well,
oh man, I'm so tired, but I'll let you get back to it. Thanks for having me on, mate.
No worries, mate. Enjoy Copenhagen. Go Blues.
Go Baggers! Come on.
So good. Luke with the 8 says Paolo had a celebratory suva at the ground post-win. We're going to have to make that a bit of a tradition now. Ud with the 80 says go Blues. Thank you, mate. Thank you very much. All right. Ed.
Hey, Terry. How are you?
Just good to see you when we're smiling. Good to see you when we're happy. Fuck.
Mate, how can you not be happy? I mean,
I know.
hey, you know how you've been saying it's stress free at the footy? I won't lie. I was just the tiniest bit stressed in the third quarter. And then I looked up at the scoreboard and I'm like, I can't believe I'm stressing. We're 38 points up. But I think it's just a learned behaviour. Like if opposition kick 2 in a row, I get very nervous.
100%. I won't lie. The negative thoughts started creeping in. I think, third quarter, I think the Hawks kicked 2 or 3 in a row. And I'm like, okay, here we go. But look, full credit. They hit targets by foot a lot more today, it seemed.
Yeah. And what that does is, because of all the hard work we did in and under and have been doing all year, it just rewards you for it, because it means you're not having to go back and do it straight away, because you get it out and then somebody gets it into space. And just now when I've said to you a few times, who can kick the ball well? And now it's like everyone's kicking it well. Like, Cunnington's kicking it well. Chera's kicking it well. Walshy was kicking it well. And Kerno was kicking it well from outside the 50. It's just the difference when you hit targets is so significant. So that to me is the thing that seems different over the last 2 weeks, which is really pleasing. But I mean, to be honest, I don't have a heap of assessment of the game, but I just thought a few individuals really stepped up. Like, I thought Sauce was excellent. Like, I just hands were so good. He's so sticky, and he hit the targets he needed to. Cunnington's contribution since he's been back has been well documented. Wiedering has returned to form. Whatever it is, he's just getting into better positions and sort of taking marks when he needs to. And Cripper's doing that thing where it's sort of like the ball just pops out and you don't know why or how, but you just assumed it was him. And that's what you want him to do. So all those little things that make us, a really highly competitive team seem to be clicking. And I think what's so frustrating is they seem like small things, but they're the difference between us winning games and looking really average. So, look, I'm going to enjoy it. I was watching the replay on the train home, and someone was like, "Do you want to check in and still win?" I'm like, "Nah, I just want to see it again." But I think next week's a nice test. Like, it's not Freo are okay. Like, they're okay. They're obviously better over there. So let's get an idea of where we're at. But yeah, just enjoy going to the footy and relatively stress-free, like a few people have said, mate.
Yeah, no, well said, well summarised. Well, good to see you after a win, like I said, mate.
Yeah, mate. This might be the first time I've been on after a win, I think.
It is. It definitely is. So I hope to see it again next week. Good on you. Joe Adamo.
Yo.
What is happening, mate?
Is my first off? Is this mic okay, or is it a bit scratchy?
No, you're good.
Then the Wi-Fi issues are done and dusted. This is it. The laptop's working. It's under control. We're good. I'm on the MacBook.
The turning point. That's what it is.
It is. It is. It really is. That was nice, man. That was nice. I forgot that like footy can be enjoyable sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, that's what today was. It was just kind of like you sat back and you just watched it, and it was just nice. It was nice. Good hangover cure. I can tell you that for a fact. I was violently hungover today, violently. So it was nice.
What was the scene of your day? Where were you?
We were level 4 behind the goals.
Yep.
So it was nice. It's actually, we usually sit level 1 like yourself as well, but we've sat level 4 the last couple of times that we've been. It's actually decent experience watching it from up there. You get to see the whole ground. You're not really hanging on every moment because you can see it all unfolding sort of before it happens. So it is nice up there. But anyway, that was good, man. What else do you say? It was good.
I'll give you 3 names. And I want to ask you, what impact do you think they have? Are they a major impact and influence on the way we're playing at the moment? Fogarty, Cunningham, and Jack Martin. They're not the best on ground, but they're contributing and they're playing their roles, and I think they're doing a pretty good job.
Jack Martin's in my votes this week. I think well deserved. Mate, like, we've sung the praises of, Jesse Motlop and Corey Durden in the past and whatnot, and they're freaks. Like, they're going to be fantastic players for us in the long run. But right now, who's got more strings to their bow? Is it this trio or is it the trio that we've become accustomed to? Like at the end of the day, you can't really fault any of them. You can't. Jack Martin's come back and he's had the impact that we were hoping he could have pretty much every week. Even the Essendon game, I think he kicked 1 goal too, and he could have broke that game open himself. Kicked 3 goals today, had some impact last week. Cunners looks like he hasn't missed a beat after missing 2 years of football. And Lockie Fogarty, this is the one that I really look at. Is he's really been made to earn his spot, like really been made to earn a senior spot, and he doesn't look like he wants to give that up now. So I think he led the tackles today, which was fantastic to see.
Yeah, it's going to be tough to do votes. I did. I had Chera as our best across the 4 quarters. I think we hit the scoreboard as well twice.
Guy's a freak.
He doesn't stop.
He has launched himself into a genuine top 25 player in the comp at the moment. Any other team, and this guy would be, I think any other team that might be winning more than what we have been recently, I think he'd be spoken about as a top 10 player right now. He's what he's doing is unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's good. But what does it mean? Who knows? Next week we're going to know. These 2 games we just had to win, right? That was just, it is what it is, and we've won in very, very good fashion. But next week's the one. That tells us where we're at.
How do you feel going into next week?
I'm keeping a lid on it until that final siren goes next week. I'm not. I am quietly optimistic that we've potentially turned the corner. Whether it's too late or not, I'm not sure. I'm quietly optimistic that we'll come out next week and do what I think we can do. But I'm not getting sucked in just yet.
All right.
If we win next week, these fan cams will look very different. That's what I'll say.
All right. Give me 24 to 48 hours with you and we'll see how you feel about this Sunday.
Done.
Love it. Well, we'll see you tonight. 7:30?
Yes, 7:30. See everyone then.
All right. Almost Blues Brothers. See you then, bro.
Cheers. Take it easy.
Ciao. Okay. I'm going to put the link in the chat as well again for those of you that want to join in. Who we got here? Let's have a look. Anthony.
Hey, Terry. What's up?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
Isn't it nice to go have some stress-free football for a change?
I know, right? It's good to feel good, isn't it?
That first half was the best first half I've seen played in a long time. Just carved Hawthorn open. Just carved them open like it was a Thanksgiving turkey. Just carved them open. It was incredible. What did Kerner get subbed off for?
I don't know. I was at the game, but from what I've read, he was just managed.
Yeah, that we need him for the Dockers game. That's for sure. I'm not getting carried away. Dockers a big test, but the other big test is Port Adelaide at home. Port Adelaide at home is the other big test. Let's see what you guys can do against one of the best teams in the comp. But obviously, you talk about Fremantle away, which obviously you have fond memories of, especially in 2020 with that after the goal siren.
We've had a few good moments there up at Opera Stadium, no doubt. We've been able to get the job done.
And what can I just say that Silvani, despite me giving him stick all season, he actually played incredibly well. Everyone played well. And Akers, what a pickup. What a pickup. He was covering acres of space everywhere. He was incredible today. And I was watching the game with my old man, and he was saying that normally Blues get 4 midfielders with 30 plus, but no player got 30 plus, I think. And it was just an even game.
It's actually a really good point. No player did get 30 plus today. Yeah.
And plus,
I didn't pick up on that.
Do you reckon Weary will get suspended for that?
For what?
Strike? For the strike?
I actually didn't notice it, to be honest with you. I didn't see it. I didn't notice it.
I only saw it on the broadcast on Fox Footy, but I didn't see much in it, but obviously I just wanted your opinion since you were at the game.
Honestly, this is the first that I'm hearing that he was even cited for anything. So
yeah, he was in the book.
Fair.
So
Fair.
I'm not sure, but it was just an overall great performance. Even the lesser players that not normally get many touches even played well. It wasn't all Cripps, it wasn't all Curnow, it wasn't all Mackay, but If I see Mackay snap of goal from 45 out one more time, I'm gonna lose it. Why does he keep doing it from 45 out? It doesn't make the distance. Just kick a
Yeah.
drop punt.
It doesn't make too much sense, does it?
It doesn't matter. Still got the win.
That's all that matters. That's all that
And
matters.
I'll definitely be back for the Dockers game, that's for sure. I hate Fremantle. I just hate them. They're just the most irrelevant club, along with West Coast. But I really shouldn't be talking since West Coast are St Kilda's screwing up my predictions. So, but I do.
Yeah.
But the Blues, they're back on track.
Well,
It got derailed, but it went back on track.
indeed. Well, mate, thanks for calling in. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Terry.
See ya.
Bye.
Chris Beach.
It's so good to beat Hawthorn. I can't even put it into words properly because I've seen that many losses against them. It's not even funny. So I think now that's win number 3 in a row against them for me personally. Because as I said, this is a bogey side for me and probably plenty of others as well. So I'm just glad that we were able to knock them off. And by 10 goals, no less. Even better. That's just a bonus for mine.
It's an interesting point. I spoke to Matt from Talking Hawks in the preview during the week. And
yeah,
before I did the video, I went back and looked at our results. And the one thing about Hawthorn in my life is that it's always been uncomfortable or a loss. It's never been a comfortable win. And that's the first time I've watched us comfortably beat Hawthorn, beat them down.
Yeah, exactly. And, they've been, if you obviously look at the other games as well, they got one over us in Tassie. They got one over us in Perth when they probably didn't deserve to. So then again, that's just my view of looking at it. And, here we are. We get them back at the MCG. Sure, they're not looking all that great at the moment. New system, new coach, but a win to win, and we're going to be taking it for sure.
Absolutely. Who are your standouts for the day?
He's had a bit of a mention already a couple of times, but I'm going to go with him as well. Shaved head Chara. He has just been, I'm not going to say a revelation because we already knew what he was capable of doing and how consistent he has been with it. But yeah, Chara was a standout for mine. There's probably a player that I think probably deserves a little bit more kudos than he deserves. And I'm going to say that's Chincotta. He actually gives in 100% effort. He digs in. He goes hard for the ball. And when he comes away with it, we're away. It's that simple.
Yeah. Well, he's one of a few guys in the side, especially today. It just seemed to be quick thinking. They didn't seem to waste that half a second that they've been doing for the majority of this year and allowing the opposition to set up ahead of the ball. It seemed to be a lot more instinctive today. And he's always been that type of player, Chincotta. Things happen. He looks to create.
Yeah. And you could say for the last little while, we've actually lacked in that creativity department, and he gives us that. So I was very happy to see that. Carlton getting through unscathed again. Tick. Who else was that? Silvani, despite only being probably one of 2 rucks with Young, no Pitternet, no Tom DeConing late. He did well given the job he was given. Everyone pretty much stood up, but I think that's what I'll roll with.
Fair. Well, we're going to wait 7 days now. We've got the graveyard shift in Perth. How do you feel ahead of that?
Well, we shouldn't be going to Perth with fear. I mean, sure, we only beat West Coast over there, which was a massive win. But, take into account as well that there's going to be possibly no Nat Fyfe for them due to his foot injury. So, he was subbed out against the Dogs due to a flaring foot or something along those lines. So I think he might be a forced change for them. But, we still got to deal with Sarong. We still got to deal with Brayshaw, and we still got to deal with Darcy. So, I'm going to be keeping my eye on that, but we shouldn't be going to Perth with fear. That's my thinking.
Yep. Well, I look forward to it. We go in there, we go up there with a little bit of confidence and a bit of a mental refresh, and we just attack the second half or this last part of the season, and whatever happens, happens, I guess.
Yeah, and as everyone that supports Carlton will know, our biggest supporter base outside the home base is WA. So we are going to show up and make it feel like a home game against Fremantle, which will be nice. But we need to get the 4 points as well. No point having a good crowd there if we can't get the 4 points.
Yeah, spot on. Well, Beachy, you look after yourself in that glorious room that you sit in, and that chair that you sit in, and I'll see you next week.
Good on you, mate. Cheers, Terry.
See ya. Costa.
Terry, how's it going?
It has been a while, my friend.
It's been a while. I've been busy, but it's good to be back. It's good to have a chat.
After a win too.
After a win, that's when I like to come back. I don't like to be too upset when talking with you, even though that's been the majority of the times I've been here. It's good to get a couple of wins on the board now and get our season looking okay, I guess.
Yeah. So what were your key takeaways from today?
I think our speed, I think you've touched on it a little bit, just that quickness in decision making. I think that's what we've been lacking in this year. I think we've just been playing such a slow brand of footy, out from the back, go down the wing and hope for a stoppage. Whereas today it looked like we were taking the game on a lot more. And I think that's a kudos to Voss. I mean, we've been harsh on him, but the changes he's made, I think, have been really good. You look at the pace of Cunningham. Obviously, we're waiting for him to come back from injury, as well as Sard being away for those couple of weeks. But having Sard and Boyd in the back, I think Boyd's such a good player off half back. Chincotta coming into the team, just these young guns having so much speed has changed the way we're playing the game. And they're not necessarily going to have huge numbers, but just whenever it goes to them, it looks like we're going to push off halfback really well. And I think that's been the biggest change in the last couple of weeks against the Suns and today. And then Chera as well, taking it to another level this year, becoming the player we all knew he could. I mean, you've got Kane Corns talking about him so much throughout the last year and a half, saying how shit of a trade it is. And it's looking like it's been the best trade we've made in the last few years, because he has been a revelation for us. I'll use the word, because he's everything that we need from a midfielder. We need a goal scoring mid. We've been calling out for it for time, and that's exactly what he's done. He's been kicking goals. He's been pushing forward. There's so many times where he roams into forward 50 with that gut running, and he's available for an easy mark. It happens time and time again. It's not a fluke at this point. And that's exactly what we wanted Cripps to become, that forward hitting midfielder. But it looks like we've found one in Chera, and that's exactly what we need. Every team that pushes for that flag has one of those, whether it's Petrarca or whether it's Dusty. I think that Chera can really emulate some of that form for us.
Yeah. What do you make of the forward setup? Obviously, Dirds and Motlop, and like they're not playing. Dirds is injured. Motlop's in the twos. They brought in Fogarty. Cunningham's obviously come back. Jack Martin's back in that forward line as well. What do you make of the mix when those small forwards are available?
I think that we're still not scoring goals from stoppages inside forward 50. I mean, me and a friend always talk about it, but have you ever seen Carlton this year go into a ruck stoppage in the forward 50 and kick a goal from a bounce or a crumb? Like, it doesn't really happen for us. And that's an area of our game that we need to fix. I think that Motlop is a player that could do that. I just feel like he does too much around the ball. I feel like he picks it up and he tries to take on one too many players, and he always gets crunched. Whereas if he can learn how to become more get his goal nous up and about, and just learn to get the footy on his boot instead of just trying to take on everyone, I think that he can become that. Our forward pressure today was pretty good. We kept it in there pretty well. I think that Martin's a player that we need to sort of get some form into. He's always injured. There's always a stop-start with his career. I feel like if he can string a few games together, he's so clean when it comes to a set shot. Same with Owies. Those types are really good. It's now the stoppage play that I think we need our forward 50s to hit, for small forwards to hit, sorry. So I think that Durden comes back in, but I think Motlop needs to earn his place, because he hasn't really had a standout game as of yet in his career. But I love Cunners down there. I absolutely love Cunners. The speed, the class that he brings is so important. Having 2 games back after all of that injury and still playing so well, I think that once he gets some form together, he'll be a really dangerous player.
Yeah, there's Cunners is interesting, because it got to a point where, similar to Charlie, before Charlie came back, it was like, don't talk about Cunningham. He's never going to play. Just stop bringing him up. And then all of a sudden you see him play, and then you're reminded, actually, when he's fit and healthy, he is in the best 22, you know?
100%. Yeah. I look back to that Essendon game, I think in 2019, where he went into the middle and had 30 odd disposals and kicked a goal. That was the game where I was like, okay, this kid's got something. It just seems like he can never get his body right, which is a real shame. It's the same with Martin as well. Those two players, we know their potential because we've seen it. It's just like I said, they just can't get that form together. So if they can get a half a season out of them and then build on to next year as well, I think that we'll have a really dangerous small forward line, because we know our talls are good. We know Harry's good. Yeah, he's got his goal kicking problems, but around the ground, he's a really good tall forward. Charlie Curnow, in my opinion, is the best player in the comp. So it's our tall forwards aren't. I could be sipping Kool-Aid, but again, I don't really care. I think Charlie Curnow's got it all. He's got the pace, he's got the marking, he's got the goal kicking. So all we need is to build some smalls around him, get that mosquito fleet that we keep talking about, and get them kicking goals, get that forward pressure up, and we've got the perfect forward line. Like there's no two ways about it. That's just my opinion, anyway.
Fair.
Yeah.
Well, mate, good to see you back on the fan cams
It's
after
good to
a
be
win.
back. Thank you for having me back, and let's see how we're going for Freo next week, eh?
Fingers crossed, mate. Fingers
crossed. Take it easy, Tez.
See you, bro. Toby Crook.
Yeah, no, Tez, how are you, Matt?
Mate, I'm good. Very good.
Sorry that I haven't been on for a while. I've been busy with a couple of other things that inciting. I'm going to be uncle in December.
Love to hear it, mate. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, so I haven't been on for a while. I thought I would jump on again today. I thought we played magnificent football today, and it's good to watch again. It feels good to, okay, we had a tough couple of weeks, but we look like we're just believing again and just knowing that we can do it. And when we do that, we look like we're a good football side to watch. And today, I didn't turn it on until the fourth quarter. I thought, right, I'll just see where we're at. And then I turned it on and I went, oh, this is good to watch. This is good to watch. When Carlton play like this and we kick it and we don't turn it over and we hit our targets and we move up and we give leads where leads are given, oh, magnificent, Terry. So I'm glad to be back, man.
No,
I've missed coming on and having a chat with you.
Yeah, that's okay. People will come, people will go, they'll come back, they'll rest. The fan cams will keep going either way, mate. So, always welcome on. Are you confident going into next week against the Dockers?
I am actually. I feel like we can, if we play like we have been playing the last couple of weeks, and today proved it, if we play like that, we can beat, I feel like we can beat a top 8 side. But it'll be tough because Freo are playing okay footy over there, and it's not easy in Perth. But I guess we just take it one week at a time from now on.
Mate, absolutely. That's the move. That's the move. Toby, you're a star. Good on you, mate.
See, Tez, go the Baggers.
Go the Baggers. This will be interesting. Aris Damatakos.
With a friend.
With a friend.
A friend. I don't know. Anyways. That was good, wasn't it? Another win. We did one of those, which we haven't done, or very few times this season.
I've been waiting for you to come on and give me the stat. Someone came on and gave me the stat about us, about the last time we beat Hawthorn by 10 goals, but I think you should have something better than that lined up, right?
See, people were adding me on Twitter like, oh, they did a 95 start on Fox Footy. Like, I don't deal with these peasant stats. Irrelevant stats, let's be honest. But this is the stat that really means a lot. The last time Carlton won a game in round 16 at the MCG on a Sunday in the month of July, whilst also fielding a player that was exactly 29 years old who had played in 2 career draws prior to the game, was 1995.
What?
Did I stutter? Don't think I did.
No. I'm okay. You did not disappoint at all.
Yeah, see, this is what I'm talking about. Like, I don't deal with the 10 goals. No. Proper stats. Stats with substance. For those wondering, the player in 95 was Barry Mitchell. Father of Tom.
Okay. So, on the game today, talk to me. What were your takeaways? What did you get from it?
Good, all round good. Not exceptional, but good. The ideas were there. The kind of plan, in a sense, was there. Execution, I think, let us down, especially in the first half, a little bit. I thought defense was solid, obviously, keeping them goalless. The first time we've ever kept Hawthorn goalless at halftime. So there you go. That shows just how good our defense was. I think also that kind of comes from our midfield pressure as well. It wasn't just the back six. It was that midfield pressure, which I thought was exceptional around the ground, around stoppages, was very good. Forward line worked today. I think that's the kind of formula going forward. I mean, we are asking a lot of Dave Cunningham and Jack Martin, who are notoriously players who can get injured. And I'm not trying to tempt fate or anything, but if they can stay fit, then they are going to do a lot for this team, especially in the forward half. I thought Cripps' game today was really good. Harry's game today was really good, barring obviously that snap in the last. Not the one that he kicked, the one before, but we don't speak about that. I really enjoyed Blake Acres' game, despite his kicking being not Scott Pendlebury-like, but apart from that, I thought he was very, very good. I would say he was top three players on the ground for us. He's not there to be this 30 possession kind of 95% accuracy, your Scott Pendlebury type movers off the wing. He's there to be a body, be a presence, especially on the wing in a more defensive sense. And he can get into a pack, he can win a clearance, and he's very robust and combative, which I think, once again, I think I spoke on Thursday in the extended team show about Fogarty and him just doing a job. I think Acres is another one of those that doesn't try and be flash, doesn't try and be the star, just knows what he's doing and just does his role. And I think, once again, that's something that we lack. So I'm happy with Acres' game, and all around good signs, very good signs.
I've got to bring up Lockie Fogarty again. You and I did speak about him on Thursday. And I think going into the game, most people would probably say he would be classified in like the bottom six players, right?
Yeah.
It just goes to show when those players who you classify in that bracket play the way he does. And I don't think he played a role today. I think he was one of our best players today, which is not something I expect from him week in, week out. But when you do get that production from these types of players, it makes such a difference to the team.
Yeah, for sure. And I also think I have quite a weird opinion on that bottom six, because I don't necessarily think it's the bottom six's players' ability. I think it's the role and the structure that they play. Lockie Fogarty is playing a role that requires a lot of pressure, a lot of selflessness, and doing the stuff that goes not unrewarded, but that doesn't get publicized, especially in media and with a lot of fans. He's perfect at doing that. Jesse Motlop, with all due respect to Jesse, I think Jesse's a great player. That's not his role, right? That's Lockie Fogarty's role, right? So unless Jesse changes the way he plays, or we don't use that role and we go with a different role to try and compensate elsewhere or whatever, then I think it's just the right player for the right role. In the same way, David Cunningham and Jack Martin being those kind of, or Jack Martin less so, I think David Cunningham being that mid-forward, that role that we try to play Zach Fisher in, but he couldn't really find a big run of consistent form, maybe barring the first half of last year. Hopefully Cunners can keep that going. I think that's the role for him. I think players like Chincotta and Boyd, they're playing their role, and the role that they're in the team for, they're currently executing it really well. So, I was really happy with how kind of bottom six players today. And I think I think the bottom six players and the structure and the roles that we play give us the platform to win. And the way we actually win is by Charlie Curnow, Patrick Cripps, Harry Mackay, Jacob Wietering, Sam Walsh, Adam Chera. Our stars do the work that is set up for by our role players who just do their job and allow our stars to be stars, which I think we found the balance of that perfectly too.
Yeah, and I mentioned the three forwards that have entered the side, Cunningham, Fogarty and Martin, and Bluey. Where is he? Bluey, where's his comment? He just reminded me here. Bluey Carlton mentioned Boyd, Chincotta and Kemp. They've made just as much of a difference to our defence. So
completely agree. Yep. Yeah, completely agree. Kemp's game again today was really good. Boyd and Chincotta, it's weird. If you would told me this time 12 months ago that we'd be heading into a game with David Cunningham, Jack Martin, Lockie Fogarty, Brody Kemp, Chincotta, who wasn't even on the list, Boyd, who was good but had gotten injured, I would be like, we're last. We're competing with West Coast. But it's like, I mean, maybe we're not far off, but it's like all of a sudden, like people got so hung up. I think because of how good last year's start was, that X player had to be, Fisher had to be in the team, Silvani had to be in the team, Motlop had to be in the team. Like these other players had to be in the team because they performed well in that first 10 rounds. Whereas now we actually have depth and we have the ability to kind of rotate players, like Lewis Young as well. He probably wouldn't have played if he didn't play in the ruck, right? And I thought he was exceptional again today, in a role that he's probably not used to. So yeah, it's good that we actually have him. While it's probably not an improvement of last year, it's obviously not an improvement of last year. I think we are finding different avenues with our team, with our depth, and with our structure, which I think, if you're going to take any positives about this season so far, very few, but I think they're the three. Different.
Last question. Can we win 6 of our next 8 games?
Here we go. Get the call out.
Yes or no? I'm not saying I'm not low. Just can we do it?
Look, we can. Obviously, we can. Will we? Different question. If we win next week, look, I'm not going to say anything. But if we win next week, in all honesty, I think Port is the game. If we can beat Port, assuming we win next week, because Port's in 2 weeks, I think. Assuming we win next week, if we beat Port, okay, something's happening here. Something's happening. But until then, I'm going to reserve my judgment and just be very. It's happiness insurance. I'm not going to get too invested because I know they're just going to break my heart again. So I can't do it.
Well, I'm out here getting slated week to week for being positive like it's a bad thing. So I look forward to seeing some of you join the ship.
Mate, look, if you want to do that to yourself, then by all means. Oh, you're a braver man than me. You're a braver man than me. I'll tell you that for sure.
Yeah, fair. Ari, it's a pleasure, mate. We'll speak to you soon.
You too, brother. Thank you very much.
See ya. Zach Borg.
What is up, Terry? How are you?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
I'm good. Few things I want to say. I'm gonna say some things as well. I went to the game today, and like it was the exact same like last week. Absolute great ball movement, number one. Great structure, and I was really proud of the boys. And something I also want to say is about with Lewis Young and Silvani. Silvani did a great job in the ruck today. He was undersized, as we all know, but he gets up there with height, and I think he did an absolute amazing job today. And same as Lewis Young, like everyone's been saying, he's not been used to that role in his career, and he's came in today because TDK can't get push through, and he's been injured. He's came in and he's done his best, and he did really, really well, and I was absolutely proud of him. Well, and yeah, good. Go on.
I was going to say, just touching on what you said, it's funny because before the game, Tom de Koning obviously laid out, which we heard that was probably going to happen. There's a bit of worry before the game. Everyone's thinking, okay, well, no ruckman. You win a game and it doesn't even matter, does it?
Yeah. And a few things I want to say is we have Fremantle. I reckon we could win, but it won't be easy because it's away there. And Port is the big test. Port is, if we win that, we're I reckon we can make finals from there. And Terry, what are your thoughts on that? About that, the next couple games.
Let's get through next week. We've got to get the result next week. We have to get the result the week after, and then I think the rest of the cavalry will jump on board and start believing again. But because I think, you can get hopeful, you can get optimistic all you want, and I'm just playing a little bit. But also, they've got to do something on the field for 4, 5, 6 weeks in a row to make up for it. Because the reality is, Zach, we lost 6 games in a row. During the season. So we have to find a way to make it up.
Yeah. Terry, a few things before you get someone else in. I was also just figuring out starting last year was great. Remember after the bye, everything just they stopped and everything was bad. I reckon now I don't know like if this is true and if well like if it's like it makes a bit of sense. It does. Our bad patch was in those like 6 losses in a row, and then now after the bye, we have a bad. Now this is maybe the good like start to get on a roll, and yeah, hopefully that's true. But a few things I want to touch on today. I mean, a few things I want to say more before I go. Our defense was really, really good today. Like to keep Hawthorn goalless in the first half was great. Like Boyd's pressure, tackling was awesome, and yeah, it was really glad to see. And I can't wait to see what we can do these next few weeks against the big teams. And
Well-
Terry, before go on.
Yeah, go for it, mate. Finish up.
Did you see about Jacob Wiedering getting reported at all?
No, I didn't see it. I didn't see any of it. What happened?
Yeah, he it was two. He punched someone in the chest and then he went for the neck a punch. I don't know. How long do you reckon he'll get for that?
I haven't seen it, so I don't know. I have to see the footage. So,
yeah,
after
it's on yeah. I saw it on Instagram somewhere. So hopefully he gets off, but we'll see. Thanks, Terry, for getting me on, and go the Blues.
See you,
Terry.
Zach.
Have
What a star! It's the best. Matt,
Can you see me, Terry?
I can see you clearly. I
Oh,
can hear
see
you.
my big
mate.
head? Yep. No, I'm on the
Oh, mate.
iPhone today.
You
so-
look great. How are you?
Oh, thanks, mate. Appreciate it. The little fella's just taking the words out of my mouth. Zach, yeah. It's just
Tough act to
everything-
follow.
It is. No, he was great. Yeah. I watched the game bits and pieces today. I had to get out of Melbourne. I went for a long drive down to Port Said. Had to get out of this cold. Yeah. Anyways, sorry. Yeah. So from what I saw, I went to the game kind of. Yeah, I kind of felt like we would do this. I didn't think we'd win by 10 goals, but I felt confident because something switched against the Gold Coast, and I just didn't see how we could go back to how we were playing, the 6 weeks prior. I just didn't see how that would be possible based on that game. I just felt like something switched. So I was relatively not surprised by the win. But, yeah, ultimately, yeah, I think everyone's right. I think it'll just be, Fremantle will be tough over there. And then the Port Adelaide game will be the one. I feel like that'll be the crux game of where we just just see whether we win or lose, just see how we perform and just see what happens. I think that'll be the defining game. Do you agree or?
You know what I love about Carlton fans, and like this is me included. We're always looking at like a win happens, and then it's like what I just said. Tell you what, if we could just get past Freo, and then like just get past Adelaide, Port, then it might be a chance. We just we have this amazing ability to just find hope because we all want it so badly. Are you with me, Matt?
Sorry, I tried to call through. Sorry. No, I agree. What I loved is I don't know whether you saw earlier in the week the Weeders was mic'd up. Just a bit of voice, a bit of presence about Weeders. It's just good to see. I think he's developed in his leadership. He's getting older now. He's more mature. He's such a nice guy. But I think we need more of that from our big guys. Harry as well. Just a bit of presence down that forward line, and that's what you want from your big guys, your ruckman and your key forward. So it's good to see. And we just got reported for a little bit of a jumper thing, but I didn't mind it. I don't mind a bit of aggression from Weeders. He's not that sort of player, but just maybe that evolution of some of these more senior guys showing a bit more of that playing on that edge. I like to see. So obviously don't want to go over the edge, but it's good to see.
I haven't seen the footage, but the thought and the idea of Wiedering jumper punching someone's got me very excited.
Same. I didn't see it either.
It'd be great to see him throw one. That'd be I think that's the next layer of his game. But he looked great. There was a moment, I think it might have been in the second, the one-handed pickup with the ball, and then he kicked it on the boot. I was like, shit, okay, he's back.
Yeah, confidence has just come back. And same with Cripps. He just looks like I don't know what's happened. He's just got some mojo back and, spinning around players and doing some side steps, which is good to see. But very impressive. Very impressive. And it's just going back to the Gold Coast win, yeah, you just think, wow, what's happened? It's obviously mind-boggling, but we'll just see what happens. I mean, it's just yeah, yeah.
One of those things. Nah, love it. Thanks for tuning in, mate. Thanks for calling up.
No worries, man. All good. Take care. See
ya.
Bye.
Paolo,
Hello, beautiful man. How are you?
you were spotted having a souvlaki outside the game today.
People are following me, are they?
Someone, where is it? There was a comment here. Here we go. Luke, Paolo had a celebratory suva at the ground post win.
Deary me. Oh God. The donuts, the suvas. I'm heading off to Nonda's after this to go have a little coffee with her before work. So hopefully she can celebrate the move. She understands the football more than anyone. It's funny, like you walk into the house and she just look at me and she goes, "Oh, did Carlton win?" I go, "Nah, not today, None." She goes, "Doesn't matter. It's all right. They're no good. They're no good." She knows more than anyone. No, it was nice to have a stress-free day at the football for once. Might I just say, I want to God, that Zach, God, isn't he a performer in front of the camera, the young man? He's one of the young leaders in our fan base, is that young man. So much love to Zach. Well presented on the fan cams. He's a natural in front of the camera.
Some have it, some don't, and he's got it.
Yes, he does. He definitely has it. Where are we at the moment? I think we are on what's called the Avenue of Apprehension, Terry. The Avenue of Apprehension. We know that we're playing good football for the last fortnight. Everybody knows that. We have rectified this bye curse that has been plaguing the league for the last month or so, which is good. But you can just see, like on the fan cams, everyone's like, the smiles are like 70% there, and that 30% has been the burn for probably the last 6 to 8 weeks. So, what does it mean? We don't know yet. I don't know where I sit on it at the moment. I was very happy with today. The pressure and tackle intensity was like spiked up. It was one of those high tackle games. But what are we getting in excess? Nearly 90 tackles, I think.
Just like 87, I think, for the game.
Yeah. I reckon they missed a few as well when we were on 80 tackles. But yeah, it was around that 90 mark. So, and that's all to do with here, isn't it? That's to do with.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, I understand the sentiment that was coming through today a bit about Hawthorn's where they are at as a team and their development and young minds, and obviously not as prepared for coming up against the bigger bodies. But for me, I didn't focus too much on how Hawthorn played. It was just the way we applied ourselves, you know?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think from the onset as well, you could see there's a different dynamic to the forward line because there are different players in there as well. And you know, that I think that high half forward mix is what we've really been lacking for probably since last year, really. I think it was our downfall towards the back end of last year too. And the only issue is, and the only bit of apprehension I have about it is the fact that the guys in there at the moment, Martin and Cunningham, are not reliable. They were both really good today. Martin probably played his best game for us since I can remember. It's probably because he hasn't been on the field, but he was awesome today. Michael actually said something funny when we were at the game. You know, when he took that double grab on the line and he handed it back to the umpire, Michael goes, "Oh, you wouldn't want to take him on a robbery with you." He told everyone.
He told everyone in.
So no, he was good today. I really liked Lockie Fogarty's game, the little rabbit. I thought he was fantastic, and that's the difference. Like you put blokes in there who have done it hard and had to do the hard yards this year, and they've actually performed. So, you know, I think that's probably why everyone is questioning why Dow couldn't get a game. And I thought Young as the second ruck that just has to be it, doesn't it? I know Jack was okay as a second ruck today, but I thought around the grounds Jack was very, very good, and that's his role. You know, he led hard, he led up at the ball, he presented, he provided an option, you know, from kick-ins and from half back, and he was leading up the ground, and that's when he's playing his best football. Look, granted, is the opposition much chopping Hawthorn? I don't know. Maybe yes, maybe no. But they've had a few scalps over the last couple of weeks. Don't forget that too. So, you know, I don't think it's about being positive or negative. It's just assessing what's happened either in isolation or in the grand scheme of things. In the grand scheme of things, we all know the year's not been good enough today. Everyone knows that. Everyone knows that. But I think in isolation, the last two games have been very impressive. So, all you can do now is just go on to Freo and, don't look ahead to Port Adelaide. Just focus on the game against Freo this weekend, the next training session, the next, the next opposition meeting that you do, and you just nail it from there. So I did see the Wiedering hit, by the way. 50-50 that he misses.
Really?
50-50. Yeah, I don't
What
know.
happened? What was it? Was it a jumper
So
punch?
it was behind the play. I don't know who it was. Someone it was off the ball. Someone got him in the back and hit him in the back, and he sort of jolted. And then he's turned around, and it was a initial sort of bit of a hit, not much in it. And then the second one, he kind of got him there. So
Right.
I don't know. It might have slipped up and got him high, and the umpire, I think, might have paid a free kick for it or something like that. But the only thing I think they could argue is probably the impact. I think might have been low, if that makes sense. So that's probably what they'll argue if it does go that way. It might be a fine. I think they'll probably lean towards a fine, but who knows? It's Chook Lotto, the MRO and all that stuff.
It is Chook Lotto. I don't know why I'm bringing this up, but the Eagles are
Yes.
up by a little bit.
I
against
just saw that. I just screenshotted that. What is going on there? They're up. What are they? 44 to 19 against Ross the Boss. God, that's his finals on, Terry. His finals on. Well, this is the thing. Now, the last time when we chatted last time after the Gold Coast game, right? You kind of, I was not flat. It was more, as I said, because I'd been burnt for the last 6 to 7 weeks. It was like, and I think I made the analogy of, it's like going to the casino with $6,000 or $7,000, losing 6 spins and then winning $1,000 back. You're still down $5,000 or $6,000, aren't you? So oh, hang on. Now we're starting to see what they're capable of when it all comes together over the last 2 weeks. And I think we said it last week on the jumper punch too. Like, it's not, this group is capable of going 8-2. We know that from last year. That's been the big thing with us. So no, I don't know. Can we make the 8? Yeah, probably. Why not? But why not? But I mean, that's the thing. Why not? I mean, like, if you realistically look at all the teams from, say, what are we now, from 6th to where we are, maybe 13th, 14th, it's all pretty. All those teams that are there, you've got Adelaide, St Kilda, Essendon, Geelong, Fremantle, Gold Coast, Sydney, us, and Richmond. They're all going to chop and change games, aren't they? Like, it's just that type of, and they're just those type of teams at the moment. So there's a chance. There's always a chance. I think Rocco summed it up really well. He goes, could you imagine if there was actually no hope? There's always that little glimmer of hope with us as well. So now what are you going to do? Like, it's you can't lambast them for what's happened now. It's about what happens going forward. The last 2 weeks have been really good. And now it's about going to Freo, and we've had good times over there. Last year was a bit of a bummer, but we had a few injuries, and I know you don't let that Sean Darcy thing go, do you? Why is that? You've never really explained that.
Well, he purposely put his knee into Pitto.
Really?
Yeah. Eyes for Pitto, not for the ball. Eyes for Pitto. But if he was on my team, I'd love it.
Yeah, that of course, naturally.
I'm just petty.
Look, I mean,
I'm just petty.
No, that's okay.
And I'm what's the word? Not supportive. Not supportive. Protective.
Yes, that's okay.
Yeah,
that's all right. That's all right. You've got to be protective of your people and your team. There's nothing wrong with that. Are we a chance to get there? If we win this week, yes.
Okay, fair.
If we win this week, yes.
To be fair, I wouldn't call Freo a scalp, but it's not an easy game playing over there.
It's not an easy game. No, but they're gettable. Like they're 10th on the table. So and then their key position defenders are not. I know they got Pierce and a couple of others there, but like Charlie and Harry can run amok in the forward line too. And it's there's a different dynamic in the forward line. And again, I know it's Gold Coast and I know it's Hawthorn, but there are glimpses of that link up from defence to midfield to half forward to forward. And we saw it. And today they were very selfless, which is something that I don't think we've associated with this for quite a while. They were looking to come inside with those kicks inside forward 50 to maybe give it to a teammate in a better position. Harry did it all day today. And I think who the two gentlemen from the Monday Blues, what were their names again? Andy and what's the other gentleman's name? They're at the start. I think they were saying that Harry, as it actually, and I agree wholeheartedly, his work up the ground this year has been second to none.
Yeah.
It's just been the goal kicking. So, again, and I think Boss even alluded to it as well, is that that's almost been it's almost been a look into the team this year. When one thing goes right, something else folds away as well. So again, it's not to be too optimistic or too negative or anything like that. It's just what I said, as what I described as the avenue of apprehension. That's where we are at the moment. So I don't know what it's going to change into, but
yeah, I think no matter what, they're going to give us a little something to cling on to before the season ends, even if it's short lived. This is what they do.
It would be nothing short of it wouldn't surprise me at all if Carlton were there when the whips are cracking at the end of the year for the ratings and the numbers and the big crowds and the money, and a few umpiring decisions might go our way, a few bounces of the ball might go our way this time around. So I don't know where it all sits, but I do know if we win this week against Fremantle, it's on like Donkey Kong.
I can't wait. Well,
I was pressing the button last week. I still am. I'm still
nuking the joint. You just took your hand off.
Hovering because I hear things and I see things that I don't want to hear and I don't want to see. But as long as they're performing on the field, which they haven't for the majority of this season, but they have the last fortnight, so it's not quite a we move yet. But if it is next week and it does come to pass that we get 4 points next week, that Port Adelaide game is going to be a big one. I'll give you the tip. And that's when we'll all come back out, and we won't have 29,000 at the G. We'll have nearly 50 at Marvel, which is what I've always wanted, and that's what we should be doing, regardless of results. But I understand that people have their own sentiments and will make their own decisions. So the avenue of apprehension is where we live at the moment, and we're looking to move on to the boulevard of dreams. So
okay, well, I'm going to check in with you next Sunday and see where we're at.
You will. I'm either going to be on the blood pressure machine, on a defibrillator, or celebrating very loudly and very joyously. So I hope it is the latter. I hope it's celebrating hard. So fingers crossed.
Good on you, Paolo. Thanks for coming
on,
mate.
My friend. We will chat soon.
We will. See you, mate.
Go Bulls.
Aussie Nick with the 5. The game clashed with the VFL today, so we didn't see much of it. But glad they got the win. Bright spot on an otherwise rough day. Yes, indeed. All right. I've got one more. I've got one more in the waiting room. I've got Kareem the Dream. So I might put the link in. I've got a bit more time. If anyone else wants to come on, there's the link. Kareem the Dream. Where you at?
How's you going, mate?
I'm good, bro. How are you?
Good. You went to the game today?
I was there, mate. I was in the bay that got the free hot dogs today. M17.
Oh, there was a bay where you can get free hot dogs.
Yeah, there was some competition. I don't know what it was. And then at 3/4 time, a whole bunch of people came down and they were giving the whole bay a free hot dog. So that was a win.
Yeah, that's a big win. Yeah, today was full Kool-Aid. Kool-Aid got me today.
Yeah.
Kool-Aid. Yeah, the Kool-Aid. Ooh, I'm thinking at the end mine was on, but I know deep down. But no, it was a good performance today, Tez. I really enjoyed it. I was at like level 4 behind the punt road end, and you could really, especially I think it was second quarter when we really dominated it. Geez, the forward line, that's the one thing that's been missing, the forward line. You can see the connection. Even Fogarty, like, I don't know why this kid doesn't play anymore. He's very smart. Like, he doesn't rush stuff. He has really good smart. And the same with Jack Martin. And I think Harry, like, he didn't kick goals today, but geez, his field kicking was on. His field kicking was really on. But yeah, I think it was mostly the role players. And I'm going to ask you a question. I don't know if this has been asked. Is Adam Chera in for All Australian?
As a midfielder, I feel like it's tough.
Not
because
starting.
there's so many of them, but I feel like he's in the mix right now for that squad.
You don't think he can get interchange if he keeps continuing this form?
If he keeps continuing this form and we find our way closer to the 8, I mean, I just go by the fact that it's generally the midfielders in the top 4, top 5, top 6 teams that make the All-Australian team.
Yeah.
But I think he's clearly been our best player
of the year.
Yeah.
Best player. He's not getting as much clearances, but you can just tell by his pressure. He's tackling. He's improved in the tackling. Like he's got
Yeah.
really, I don't know, is he one of our strongest? Like I don't know, I feel like he's one of our strongest players in the contest, but he doesn't even look that big of a player, if you know what I mean. But he's really improved. I think he's taken the George Hewitt role last year. I think he's really taken the George Hewitt role.
Well, speaking of George Hewitt, he played.
He was on today, wasn't he?
Yeah, he came on very late. He played 16% game time, and he had 6 touches and 3 tackles in that 16% game time.
The weather suited him. I can tell. This type
Yep.
of weather. This is his footy. This is his type of footy. What happened with Kerner? Is he injured or something? Because I found that strange.
I mean, I don't remember the last time we've had the opportunity to just manage someone like that up by so much. So got him. Just
Good
put him
for the
put him on
Freo
ice.
trip as well. Pretty smart for the Freo trip coming up.
Yep.
Yeah, it was good performance there. I don't know if it was better than the Gold Coast one, but you could tell this was like let's just smack him. We got these boys on the ropes. Let's just get them killed. And just one more thing, Reading. When Reading's playing like that, mate, you can tell our defense is very secure. Very secured when Reading's playing like that.
Yeah. No, he's ultra reliable. Now I've got to watch this footage and see what the suspension might look like. But
is he suspended?
Well, apparently he was reported.
Gee, what for?
A strike. I haven't seen it. Apparently there was a jumper punch of sorts. I've got to watch the footage, but
wow.
A few people have come on to the fan cams and have mentioned it in the chat. So we'll
Wow.
see.
Yeah, if Brad Close is getting off with a dangerous tackle, I'm sure he'll get off with that, mate. Jumper punch. Anyway.
We will see. Good on you, Kareem.
See you next week, mate.
See you, mate. Shannon.
Hi.
A smiling
Didn't think
Shannon.
I'd get here. I literally just walked in the door.
Amazing. How was that?
Oh, I had Ava with me today, so she's 2 from 2 in the last 2 games. So I think she might be the lucky. Such a good game.
You got to bring her to every game. We have to fund it if we need to. I don't care. She has to come.
Well, she gets in for free at 3 years old. It's just the elements aren't usually what I take her to the G. But hey, look, she saw another win. So, and her dad's team lost last night. So overall, great weekend.
Absolutely. What did you take away from today? What do you think about when you think about the game?
Oh, I think that our ball movement at times was stagnant, but we were able to still run and carry. I thought that Akers had a good game, which was like he started off a bit shaky. Wiedering was solid in defence again, and we were talking about it at the seats, and we think that Newman did an okay job on Bruce, considering how dangerous Bruce can be, and had to be Harry's best game this year, full stop. He had the most meters gained at one point.
Wow. Yeah, he worked real well up the ground. And he laid 5 tackles. I don't remember the last time I saw 5 tackles next to Harry's name.
No, me either. And the injection of Cunningham, God, we've missed him, haven't we? Just his ability to run through traffic and just see spots that, no one else can see. And it's just incredible. So overall, I thought, keeping Hawthorn goalless for the first half for the first time in the history between the two clubs, it says a lot, really. Like that just shows how strong our defense was today.
Yeah. Are you a believer?
The Kool-Aid's still on ice, okay?
Okay.
But if we continue to play this brand of football, who knows where it's going to take us? There's 8 games left. Our next biggest test is probably going to be Port Adelaide at the G.
Marvel.
Oh, is it at Marvel? Oh, fantastic. Okay, well then, we've got good history against Port Adelaide at Marvel. So, look, win that and sky's the limit. We're only, a game and a half out of the 8.
I'll tell you now, because I think the Giants beat Melbourne, which is massive.
Did they? I was listening
Yeah.
they were 3 points up with about 2 minutes to go. And West Coast beating St Kilda at the moment.
Yeah, so as it stands right now in this very moment, the Bombers are 8th on 32 points with 106.2%.
Yeah.
We are 13th with 26 points and 103.4%. So we're a game and a half, 2 games. We're 2 games behind 8th spot right now. 1.5 games gets us level and you go percentage, but let's just say 2 games. 2 games out of the 8 with 8 more to play.
Oof.
So
Wow.
that's just
Big.
what it is. That's the cold hard facts. That's just what it is.
Gotta love a good fact. But no, very happy with the result today. I think we needed to consolidate the Gold Coast game.
Yeah.
And we're one of the, I think, 1 or 2 teams that have come off the bye and had a win. So
Yeah.
let's hope. I think I said it a few weeks back on fan cams that we started off well last year and finished crap. This year we started off crap and hopefully finish well. So I hope it's reversed.
Yeah.
But,
Well,
you know,
Shan, I can't wait for 7 days. Hopefully it continues and we get a run on, and then slowly
yeah,
it all starts building up again. Because I think, a push and a run at it is crucial for this group. Whether they make it or not, it doesn't matter. They can't die wondering.
No, that's it. And we have
Yeah.
a really good following over in WA. So any WA Blue Abroad fans, get yourself a ticket and get to Optus Stadium next Sunday afternoon. It's going to be an absolute cracker, and especially with Nat Fife out with plantar fasciitis.
Oof.
Yeah, and I've had that, and it's not nice. So be out for quite some time. So WA baggers, get there. If you want to gather together, everyone, go sit at a pub, have a few up the baggers. You know what? Fuck it. Drink the Kool-Aid.
Good on you, Shan. Thank you.
See ya.
See ya. Tyson.
Hey, what a day! What a day! Yeah, obviously keeping goalless for the first half was. I don't think I've seen us do that ever. So that was the first for me. And just in general, I don't think anyone had a bad game out there.
It's been a long time since we've said that.
Yeah, it definitely has. Over the last sort of 6 to 8 weeks, I was hesitant on going to the Fremantle game because I am from WA. So, but the last 2 games have restored my faith, and tonight I will buy tickets to go.
You got to get there, mate. You got to get there. We're going to need every little last inch of energy from the Carlton faithful next week out there.
Yes, definitely. So hopefully just shut those Freo fans up. And I mean, the last time I went last year to Carlton Freo at Optus, and I had a couple of dickheads behind me saying, "Kick it to Freddie" all the time. And so hopefully I can just give them shit all the time next week.
What'd you make of today, though? What about today's game? What were your thoughts?
Like there were times obviously where we just didn't convert in the forward line, and they obviously managed to make their way down the ground. But what was impressive was our ability to rush back and defend. That was something that I was like, wow, okay, we actually managed to pull our fingers out and actually run back and stop them from scoring more than what they probably should have in some instances.
But do you believe in what you saw today that it can continue?
Well, we've done it for 2 weeks, so let's just take it week by week. I think we can. It's just a question of will we do it?
True. Well, that's what it has to be from now on. We can manifest it all we like, but it's a matter of whether they're going to do it or not do it, isn't it?
Yeah, they gotta want it. They gotta want this spot in the finals. They can't just go on their laurels and go, oh, we should make finals. It's like we gotta go for it and actually show everyone that we want to play finals.
Interesting. Well, mate, you enjoy yourself next week. Get down there, get your tickets locked in, and hopefully hear from you on the fan cams afterwards after a win.
Maybe we'll see.
Good on you. Thanks, Tyson.
No worries.
See you, mate. That's it. that's the fan cams. Unless we have any latecomers. A good win. Another stress-free weekend. But we're still climbing out of a pretty deep hole. I don't even know if we're climbing out of it yet. I'm optimistic. I'm always optimistic that they're capable of doing something special. But until they do it, they haven't done it. So yeah, I think it was a good performance, confidence builder. Now we go and have a tough stretch over the next fortnight against one actual contender and one team that's kind of in the mix. I think Freo are kind of where we were hoping to be as well, in that 7th to 10th mix of teams that can make it or just fall out. So we will see what happens. But nonetheless, today was a good day, an enjoyable day. Thanks for tuning in. Before you go, those of you on YouTube, if you can complete the survey that I've got pinned to the top of the live chat before you leave today, that'd be fantastic. Takes 90 seconds to fill out. And this is for anyone that's ever watched Blue Abroad content. So it's important to get as much information about where you're watching as we can. If you've already done it, thank you. You will go into the draw. All the people who do this survey will go into the draw to win this Sam Walsh frame. So that'll be done next week. And that's it. Review coming up. Player ratings tomorrow. Blue Abroad show. You've got the Almost Blues Brothers tonight, 7:30. So tune in and I don't know, something special might be brewing. We'll see. Have a good one, guys. Go Blues.